this group? What makes this group special and unique this season? What have you seen?
Well, I think it's a carryover from what we had last year. It's a group that likes each other. We're very, very intentional about the type of player, type of basketball player we recruit here. And probably the one thing that stands out more than anything is athleticism. It will be a different looking South Carolina basketball team when it comes to the athleticism. And I've been around for a long, long time, and this will look different from an athleticism standpoint.
I guess overall, how have you seen Paris's philosophy kind of impact his team and kind of bring that level of success that you guys have seen?
I can tell you it's easy, and it goes back to the intentionality in terms of the type of student athlete that we recruit. He's a great communicator, and as a result of his ability to communicate with our guys, he has unreal connectivity to our players, and he allows them to play with a certain amount of freedom within our structure, but he also demands a whole lot defensively. He believes in us making basketball plays. He believes in us sharing the basketball. He brings that old Wisconsin style of defense with his twist in terms of his defensive philosophy. But when it all comes down to it for Coach Paris and what he's been able to do, intentionality, but he's a terrific communicator, and that communication has allowed for an unreal connectivity. Guys play hard for him, and when you see some of the stuff that you've seen in the locker room, with him dancing with the players, nothing is fabricated, nothing is manufactured. It's all organic, and that's why guys play for him the way they do.
Y'all have so many South Carolina natives on this team. You being, a South Carolina guy, how fun is it to see guys like Arden Conyers and James Scott, guys who played against each other in high school? How fun is it to see them at the college level?
It's fun and personal for me. As a guy that played here back in the early 90s, this is not just a job for me. It's a lifestyle. Every time I leave my house in the morning, I'm selling the University of South Carolina basketball program. And over the years, I've been able to forge a lot of relationships through my time here at the university. And, the one thing I do know in terms of my unique perspective, anytime that this team has been good, there's always been a correlation with having South Carolinians on the basketball team. And go back to the Final Four run, the best two players were from South Carolina. You go back to, Eddie Foley, Coach Eddie Foley, his days, the best players were from South Carolina. And for this program, it is very, very important. It's imperative that we keep our best players home. And when I was first hired, the one thing that I vowed to do, I didn't promise that we'll get every top player in South Carolina, but the one thing I did vow to do was to make it hard for any top player to say no to us. And with the success we've had last year, I think that's made it harder. I think it's also made guys want to be a part of us. And, even going into the high schools, even going into the tournaments, it's a big deal now. And again, I've been around for a long, long time, and to have this type of excitement in the city during football season, it's not something that's happened around here. And to now see it and for our players to be able to enjoy it, it's been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to getting on the court and kind of playing in front of our fans. They created an unbelievable environment last year. I remember a particular game. I don't remember the specific game, but Coach Paris and I, they were calling the start lineup, and he and I just kind of looked at each other and said, "Wow." I said we couldn't fill it up, and we were able to fill it up. And not only fill it up, students were unreal. It was an unbelievable connectivity to our players, and our guys fed off of it. And I think there will be a carryover into this season when it comes to that.
Talk about a hometown guy, Cam Scott. What's he look like, and how has he progressed and gelled with this group as we get closer to the season?
Well, first of all, we're so fortunate that Cam Scott decided to stay home. We watched his career over at Lexington, and when we found out that this was indeed going to become a reality, we were so excited. But he's a special, special kid. He's a special athlete. He's one of those athletes that possesses a certain ability that can't necessarily be taught. And I think more than anything, when you look at who he is, his level of recruitment, the schools that were involved, he's very, very coachable. He receives coaching. He's a terrific listener. He's going to come out and he's going to execute whatever he's been told. And he's going to have a big year for us. He'll be a big, big part of what we do, simply because he has a few things that some of our other guys don't have, just from who he is as a natural athlete. So we're fortunate that he's a part of what we're doing. We're excited with what he's going to add to our program, and we look forward to a lot of big things from Camp Scott.
We're excited about the season. Looking forward to continue to grow. Right now, just learning and gelling with each other. That's the one thing I noticed when I first got here. Just the chemistry, and everybody like each other. Like after practice, kind of sit around the guys. Like now, they what you see what them doing right now. Just because you all are here, and they do that every practice. Just kind of hang out, whether shooting or just hanging out on the side, talking with each other. It's a great culture here.
It's early, still a couple weeks out from the first game, but do you feel like this team has an identity yet, or kind of what you think it might be?
Well, we're hanging our hat on defense. That's what we hang our hat on. We continue to grow in that area. I'm still learning, but I think defense is what we want to hang our hat on and continue to grow in that area. That's something that's even every day. That's the one thing we talk about, defense.
How about Jamari Thomas? What have you seen from him so far coming into the program? Obviously an important spot there.
Jamari's he's learning. Same thing. He's trying to learn how we do things day to day. But I think we see the growth I see the growth just from the July to now. I was here like the last 2 weeks of summer, and he was trying to figure some things out. And then we came back, school started, and you can just see each week, each day, he's stacking days, stacking weeks, and just continue to grow and learn what we do and how we do things.
What about you coming back here? What drew you back here, and just the process of coming back here?
Well, I met Coach Harris, I want to say when I was at LaSalle in Philadelphia, and he was at Wisconsin. So we went to the Sweet 16. I think they went to the Final Four. So just a mutual respect, and always kept in contact. And when he called me about the opportunity to come back, I was excited, and I think that it was a great opportunity to come and learn under him. And great staff, and the things that he's done has been amazing. Just building the program and continue to build the culture here. And I can see why he's had success everywhere he's been. The things he instilled into his players, the confidence, the belief, and the players feed off of it. And I can see why the program really directed us in.
How's your role changed since you were here the first time?
Well, right now it's just learning. I'm the new guy. So I'm all ears. I'm just trying to learn how he do things and continue to learn and grow along with the new guys that's here. So recruiting, player development, just whatever he needs me to do to help the team win, I'm here.
And difference, obviously, the styles, Coach Martin, Coach Paris.
Yeah,
Coach.
Defensively. We talked about the defense. They're both really great defensive coaches. Frank Martin, obviously, is on the line, up the line, pressuring, denying, not letting blowing things up. With him, he's a little bit more contained, keep guys in front of you, not really denying, but just making you take tough twos, whether it's no threes, no layups. So that's kind of the thing that he hangs his hat on, his team and the program hangs his hat on, and he's had success this past year doing that.
So what has it been like working with him after all these years? And kind of when you came over with him to Carolina, was it just like an immediate hey, you want to come? Or how did it kind of go?
Yeah, I think what happens is you end up getting some things that you feel comfortable with, right? Like some of the teaching points, what we're looking for in recruiting and things like that. And so when you have that continuity, which we've had, most of our guys have been together for quite a while, it allows you to kind of move faster on certain things, and things move a little bit smoother than maybe they wouldn't if you've got a whole new staff and you're trying to get all the different personalities and everything together. So I think that was, really helpful. I think, I understand what Coach's vision is and how I can help him implement that vision. And so, having been with him for 5 years in Chattanooga, knowing what we're looking to do when we got here, and so I think that's been a big help, just kind of keeping the continuity on staff.
What's like the biggest lesson you've learned from being under Lamont for so long now?
I think it's stay true to what you know and who you are. I think the biggest thing is, like, Coach knows what he likes in a player, whether he be recruiting. He knows what wins basketball games. He knows a lot of the little things it takes, and he's unwavering. He's not going to compromise those things, right? And so I think that's something that I think is, he's very, very good at. He's very convicted in himself, and that's, I think, why we've been able to have some success last
year. Jordan is very, very unique, man. Jordan can play. He's got ability, especially for us and what we like to do. I think for him is being tough, because he's very similar to BJ in terms of his skill set, but at the same time, defensively, he's got to get, a little bit more agency, a little bit more, physical plays, type things like that. But his ceiling is through the roof. It's through the roof. I think he's going to
It's not like last year.
This team is uber confident. The whole group. And and they feed off of each other. These guys they see each other's abilities and they know who does what well, and they're confident in each other. That's the good thing. I think last year at the beginning, guys knew we could be really good, but they were still at the level of uncertainty. This year, this team, I think they have a bit of a chip, and they got a bit of an edge, and they're different physically. Big time athletes, long SEC type guys. Talon, obviously big guard, but he wasn't a great athlete, but he's super cerebral. BJ super skilled, smart, but physically he wasn't an SEC guy. So, but this year's group is, I think these guys, they have a lot to come, and they can see it, but it'll be a matter of can you put it together.
Yeah, because I know that was a big thing about last year's team.
Yes, very similar. Very similar. Like, you can see them all over here right now. This is every day after practice. They're just hanging out. Some of them getting extra shots up. Some days, some guys just want to hang out and chop it up with their teammates. But they all get along really, really well, which I think hopefully will benefit us once we get into the grind of the season.
How confident were they going into last season compared to going into this season, as far as now that they've some demonstrated performance?
I think last year's group was confident. Maybe to the outside world, there wasn't a lot of reason to be confident going into last year, but I think those guys understood just kind of what our identity was going to be early on. They figured it out. And I think that gave them a lot of confidence going into the year. Obviously, we had the trip to Bahamas last year, which then you see it in game action against another team, so that kind of speeds that process up. But I think that team had a quiet confidence about it that obviously proved to be pretty true. This is a confident group too. Like you said, a lot of these guys were on the team last year, so they've seen what it looks like. They know what we want. They know what our identity is going to be, and that's helped the new guys get up to speed. And the new guys, they've been around college basketball as well, with the exception of the freshmen, obviously. But Nick and Jamari, they've been around a lot of college basketball, and so they've seen what it looks like. They've won. Alabama went to the Final Four. Norfolk State won their regular season conference championship last year. Jordan Butler, I think, won the state championship in high school. So those guys have been around, and so they've been able to fit right in with this group, just kind of what we're looking for and what we're going to be about this year.